Daniel Henry and Co. Why am I stammering? Is it because of the legal requirements that we are all trying to comply with? But somehow for businesses, it's such a hurdle. I don't know, perhaps as a way of introduction, tell us a bit about what you do as an advisor to legal matters for businesses.
Right, yeah. Thank you, Melissa, for having me. And good evening, viewers. My name is Daniel Mwangi, advocate. True, I'm a managing partner, Daniel Henry and Company Advocates, where we offer a cross-cutting services in the legal space, which include guiding entrepreneurs as they set up their businesses and continue to offer services, sell goods to the Kenyan. So, as you asked, let me just begin by contextualizing. The last report you had, you talked about Stanbic and the standing interest and their fund. So the issue is, what plans did Stanbic do so as to achieve this growth? And I have to give the secret to Kenyans, it is about compliance. As you are conceptualizing your business idea, it is important for you to sit back and imagine that legal compliance is one of the things you need to do. And that way, your business will grow and will grow consistently when you have complied.
You know, when you think about Stanbic Bank, I will think of it as an SME and think, I have so small. You can compare maybe to Stanbic Bank. Maybe they have a lot of finances to go into that, to cater to their legal needs.
Right.
Do SMEs really need a lot of legal advisory and services?
You cannot avoid the law.
So we've been downplaying this matter.
We have been doing this matter and trying to imagine that you can exist in the space of business without having some legal requirements formed. Especially now, as you as an entrepreneur begin your journey, you have a business idea. That business idea is properly or should be put on into a vehicle.
Okay.
And this vehicle is, what formation of business are you? Those are things that you need to understand. They're the limited companies, they're the limited partnerships, they're the business names. But you find our Kenyans, all of us, imagine that when you have a business name, you still call it a company, not understanding the legal implications of who you are at that stage of business. So it is important as you, as an entrepreneur, begin your journey in business, whether you're SME, whether you are a small or medium enterprise, you need to actually get the legal space right. Because ultimately, your growth in the environment you're entering into is guided under some particular regulations. There are licenses you need to acquire to serve your business. And ultimately, if, for example, most entrepreneurs in Kenya are selling some one or other kind of good, that interaction with your customer, be it a client or a customer, where you exchange that item for money, that is a legal transaction, and it is guided by law. So it is really important as an entrepreneur, as you go along your business in your entrepreneurship journey, that you have gotten the legal compliance space right.
So it's right from the formative stage and even as you grow.
Right. Even as you grow, you'll find that where you have challenges with maybe the growth phase you're in, the space you're in at that stage, you'll find that if you had really looked back and gotten the compliance right, probably this growth part you have reached will not be as challenging as it is at the moment, because maybe you got something right. For example, if you are in maybe a market where you have now hit the product that is really moving in the industry, and you have not been keeping proper records, your taxes have been in a problem. The time you hit it right, and suddenly our good brothers in the KRA take notice of you, and they come and look at you and say, hey, where have you been all these years? Now, you may find that the growth part that would have happened if you had complied will be curtailed. You may find that probably once the interaction with KRA happens, your market will maybe take a back seat and maybe wonder, why are you really compliant? So we need to really to cause and imagine that as Kenyans, not to look at legal compliance not as that it is for the bigger businesses, but if we start our businesses right and we are legally compliant, we are good to go, and we'll be offer better services, to better product and better goods to the market.
So talk to us about the dynamics in business where I have been doing my business on location and now I want to transition into online business.
Right.
What does the law say about that in terms of transitioning and also operating in these different spaces? Because I know in the counties, the counties have their own business permits that they require me to have. But what about the online space?
The online space is, all you have changed is the environment. Because the online space is supposed maybe to allow you to reach a wider market than where you are on location. But the compliance does not change. If you are required, for example, to sell, maybe let's say I've seen online people who even sell meat.
Yes.
They deliver to where you are.
Yes.
But now, on location where your meat is stored, do you have the licenses that are required from the public health departments? Is your meat inspected? Is it good for human consumption? Those are licenses which you need. Actually, even on your online platform, it would be really key that you have displayed those licenses, compliances, or the online space, so that as your customer interacts with you, they're able to verify and say, like, if I went to the location, this is what I would have found. So it is important. And actually, when you are in the online space, you have to actually even have your pins, the KRA pins, and every other displayed.
Together and with the head of state's picture right there.
Well,
displayed.
that too.
Why do you have the head of state? Why do people have that in their businesses? Is that a requirement?
I would say why not?
Okay, all right. Okay.
He's president.
All right.
And ideally, well, being there, maybe
shows your allegiance to the constitution and the laws of the land.
No, not
right?
necessarily. Maybe on another interview we'll delve into the history of how that happened.
Okay.
So that actually it can become,
yes.
it's a practice that has been there, and now we are doing it.
We are doing it,
But in terms of business compliance, I don't think if you don't have a license, but you've displayed the president's picture in your business, that you will not be required to comply. You'll still be, if there are sanctions to be met to you, despite the fact that president's picture is on your business, you will meet. You will still have to be licensed properly.
Pay them.
Okay.
So what we say is that a good business begins with a plan that you have, and as you work with the plan that you have, in the back of your mind, remember that the planning that you're having, legal should not be away from. Because if you imagine, for example, Melissa, you have begun your business, whether online, whether on location, and there is what you're expecting to get from that business. Maybe you have set up a business that is your legacy issue.
Yes.
You intend this business to go from generation to generation.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you really need your kids to be met up with an issue that of legal compliance?
Slapped to charges and penalties.
Right. Yeah. I think if you get it right to the beginning, you begin your business on a platform that allows you really to conquer the world. That's why the Stanbics of this world will post such kinds of profits, because at the back of their mind they have complied. And compliance in the legal space also means that you've been allowed to plan in terms, maybe you've consulted with experts in the tax space, you have done your returns, you're compliant with KRA. If you're a limited company, there are also returns that are done to the registrar of companies. And that means that as you grow your business, you're able to take advantage of these things. And most of these compliance issues really come to fore when a business has grown to a level that they now want to access credit.
That is where now we get all the hurdles, because you've not been complying.
You've not been complying, so you're not able to demonstrate to your banker how you have been managing your business. So when you go to your bank and they tell you, can you give us audited accounts for maybe the last 3 years so that we can see your cash flow?
Then you start taking the shortcuts.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
And ideally, that's what maybe discourages most of entrepreneurs, and they keep away from business, imagining that everything that needs to be done is so hard. But really, consult your legal services provider. Go out there, seek this advice. It's available.
Talk to us about people in partnerships, business partnerships, with some of the do's and don'ts of the law. How does law cover them? And what should they have in place to ensure that these partnerships favor them?
Right.
Yes.
Right. As usual, you'll agree with me that every business venture, you're out to get profit. So when you say you are favored, that means you're getting your profits regularly.
Yes.
So that also means then that your relationship as a partner should be clearly defined. And how does that happen? You do a partnership agreement. And if that is the vehicle which you want to use as your investment in the business, as a partnership, the law allows you. You can create a partnership and cover a deed, an agreement on partnership, and even you can form yourself into a limited liability partnership, which is available as one of the vehicles registrable under our laws in Kenya. So the agreement and the partnership agreement, as your question has asked, is the one that is going to guide what do you inject into the business. If you inject maybe 20%, then what does it mean? So this agreement is what really guides the entire understanding between the partners.
You know, Dan, a lot of us just have these handshakes, or you've done this partnership. Your friend, your brother has come and asked you, pump in some money, and you've pumped in some money into this business. But now at the point where you need the profits, or maybe the business wants to shut down, what is the legal recourse? How am I covered? Am I covered at all? If I just went in, out of friendship, out of camaraderie, out of, he's my sibling, and that kind of thing. Because a lot of us are doing that, actually, in the businesses where, you ask somebody, where did you get your seed capital? They tell you, my brother financed this, or a sister gave me this kind of loan, somebody took a loan for me. So how do you cover this kind of partners who come into this space like that?
Right. And I'll say this. A lot of Kenyans actually honor those handshake agreements.
Yes.
And that's where probably you'll find that it is more usual. But now the question comes, and what happens often when now we become involved as lawyers is when actually someone says, yes, you paid me, but show me the evidence.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I'm saying, if you're going to put in your money expecting a return, please have it in writing. Do an agreement.
Even with the suppliers, right?
Even suppliers,
people that
yes, have your relationship defined. That's a critical lesson we want to learn today. Define your relationships, because there is this which you want to gain.
Yes.
If you are investing in import of goods from China.
Yes.
And my brother wants to take out a loan from me. Before my brother can do that, he has built his line of credit with his financier. So he has actually invested somewhere so that I can qualify. So that means I cannot just casually go ahead and take my brother's money and do my business and fail to imagine I can pay it back. The good thing would be, even in that close relationship, define these things in writing. Because we have seen, even in spaces where now probably the issue has now, maybe one of them has transited, has passed on. And now the question of where his benefit is in your business arises. And since it's not there, you don't want to be associated with anything. So it really pays.
Wow.
And it's not bad practice.
Yeah.
And it is not an indication of lack of trust.
Yes.
It's an indication of that you are clearly defining your relationships. And that is the good thing, because business at the core of it is relationships. Right.
What's your parting shot? One, two, three is that any business right now, whether you're MSME or SME, or you are actually growing and becoming an enterprise, should have in terms of legal compliance actually. Yes.
Yeah. So any business, whether Mamboga or anything, for example, if you are out there doing your business, it is good to consider, what does the law provide about my business? What are the growth phases? What are the compliance items I need to do? What are the licenses I need to have? And that is not a bad place to begin. In fact, it should be the norm.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what everyone should do.
I do my business plan and I should know where the law comes in.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Dan Gashau, Mwangi from Daniel Henry and Co-Partners. Thank you so much for coming and having this conversation with us. We will continue with it. I know a lot of other conversations and questions concerning how to navigate the legal challenges in our businesses will come up later.
True.
So we will call you up together with Henry, your managing director.
True.
Thank you so much for coming.
All right. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
Okay.
We will come back with the sports news of the day.